My name is Jess. If you've not come across this channel before, you may not know that I am somebody who has Dissociative Identity Disorder, commonly known as DID, which means that at any one time, different identities can influence or take over and control my behaviour. There are 5 alters, including myself, and although we've been inhabiting my body as multiple since I was about 6 years old, we have never been in the same room. Until now. What you are about to watch is a simulation of a headspace. A space in which alters can talk and interact with one another, commonly known as co-consciousness. There have been 2, 3, and even 4 of us around in this headspace at once, but never before have we had the 5 of us standing in one room. But for the first time ever, we have simulated a situation in which all 5 of us are standing together in the headspace, all having the ability to talk, share dynamics, and demonstrate the differences between us. This is so you can experience what we experience as close as possible in 360 virtual reality. All the conversations you're about to hear were collated as close to verbatim as possible. They were written down in pieces, agreed upon by the alters, and then scripted to make sense and flow. What you're about to see is a product of that, brought to life by actors that resemble the alters in some way, so that we may give the alters the voice that they deserve, and remind anyone watching that they are equal parts a person as I or they are. We all make one whole, and our voices need to all be individually heard and respected. If you ever wondered what life is like for someone with DID and listening in all these conversations with the alters, then you're about to have a very unique experience in finding out. Welcome to our headspace.
Hey, how come you still got your stethoscope on?
Well, because clearly I'm at work on the inner world. Not something you'd know much about.
Hey, I work. I'm just between very expensive paychecks right now.
Well, if that's the case, thank God I'm not in a bath, otherwise we'd all be scarred.
Oh, you in the knit with your coffee face mark. That's so cringe.
All right, let's not actually paint a picture in case we bring on the haunted vision.
Hey, Jess. This is a first for you, huh?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, I suppose us 4 are used to being together on the inner world, but I don't think we've ever had more than a few of us co-conscious at once, at least not with you involved.
Yeah, I'd say there's normally 3 of us if we're a bit chatty, but having all 5 of us at one time is a wild experience, right?
How are you feeling, Jess?
A bit nervous.
Well, it's okay. Like, why don't we take this opportunity to get out the guitar and play a little Kumbaya?
Yay! I'll play the bongo drums!
Yeah, we can have a campfire too. We can get s'mores.
No visualising guitars or bongo drums. It's hard enough concentrating on the 5 of us as it is.
Well, Uncle Jake could sing. You don't have to envision anything for that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes!
I can show you the world.
Oh, I love this song.
Shining,
Jamie, sing it.
shimmering, splendid.
I could sing better.
Tell
Yeah,
me,
go on then.
princess, now when
Not here,
did
it's not
you
appropriate.
last let your heart
appropriate.
decide?
Jake.
I
he's
can
just going to the
open
good-
your eyes.
Beaver!
Take you wonder by wonder.
I think we need to get back to the matter at hand.
I just can't believe you compared me to Bieber, man.
I think it would be sensible if we set an agenda.
Oh, does it have to be so rigid? I figure we could just kind of free flow.
I think it's the best way to make sure that we use the time we have here wisely.
But wouldn't it look much more unnatural to an audience?
Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, we're doing that headspace visualization thing for people to have an experience like ours.
I forgot.
Anything you may say may be recorded for training and monitoring purposes.
All in favour of setting an agenda, raise your hand. And all in favour of going with the flow? Okay.
I guess we could do a bit of both.
Well, I'm happy to chair.
Wait. I feel like we should probably introduce ourselves before getting into the more technical stuff. Hey, my name's Jake. I'm 5'6". I got brown hair, and on the inner world, I'm an actor and a singer. I love nature. I love meditating and long walks on the beach.
Jake, no offence, but what you're doing is properly cringe.
But it's important so the audience can understand how we see ourselves.
They know how we see ourselves, all right? We don't need to... If we're getting actors in to stand here and portray us, then we don't need to worry about it if there's already some poor sod there pretending to be us.
I'm Jamie. I'm very good looking.
Are you actually doing this?
I'm 5'10", green eyes, and my role is all about fixing people on the inside and out. I've been described as a cheeky Prince Charming with intelligence to boot.
You should probably stop right there, otherwise this room will fill with your ego.
How could you throw in shade?
Okay, you have a go.
Okay, hi, I'm Ollie. Oliver, prefer to be called Ollie, but I don't know.
What's your role, All? Like, what do we figure you're made to do?
Have no trauma, have a good upbringing, and be carefree. I also play video games, and I like to take my bike out sometimes. And when I'm on the inner world, I play with my friends, have a laugh, just hang out.
Oh, me. I'm Jess. I identify with the body and the body's name. I have an interest in psychology, and I really like helping people. I have a husband called Gaz and a baby called Edie.
Your turn.
You can't be serious. Fine. I'm Ed. Please don't call me Eddie unless I actually like you.
I can be just as edgy as when I was a teenager.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm tall, I'm slender. People can see what I'm like if there's someone here actually portraying me. So,
You enjoy arts, true crime, and your perfect date night is any environment with a bottle of red wine.
what am I making a grinder profile?
What's a lot to say about you, Ed? Like, you're a stay-at-home husband, you look after the house and family, and you really like cooking and baking.
And you do an incredible job of it.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm a good lesson in not judging a book by its cover. I just really still don't get what the point of this all is. It just feels a bit weird, just feels a bit awkward.
It's to give us a voice and a body for the first time ever, to show people the reality of who we are and how we work, so people can empathize more and realize that we're all, like individual parts with unique thoughts, experiences, and opinions, and that we should be respected as such.
Yeah, fine, but I don't get what people think we talk about when we talk amongst each other.
Well, if they believe the stereotype of what people have with the idea are like serial killers, maybe they think we're plotting or scheming to chop someone up and chuck them in a dustbin.
No, I told you, it's either acid or fire, because there's no evidence or blood on your hands then.
Perhaps we shouldn't have any theoretical conversations like right now, just in case somebody actually believes that.
Or you could hire a hitman. No blood on your hands, no evidence, works just as well.
Insulin, classic angel of death.
Whoa, Harold Shipman, that's my biggest fear, and I've got a seat next to you later.
Yeah, plus that's a method of death. Dad and I were talking about disposal.
Can we not? Like, theoretical or not, like, this is just kind of a disturbing concept, and it's making me feel kind of nauseous.
Righto. Now we've established introductions and discussed homicide, why don't we agree on what our first topic should be?
Well, Jess brought us all here, so maybe, she should start.
Oh, okay. I guess now I'm on the spot. I'm not really sure what to say. Maybe. I guess if we're going to be like existential, maybe we can kind of ask what would we be like if we never experienced our trauma and we were one whole person.
Taller, skinnier.
That one hurt, Ed. It's not a nice thing to say.
To be fair, it's Daddy that eats like he's in a bloke's body.
You're one to talk.
Hey, I'm a growing teenager. What's your excuse?
Yeah, Ed, I don't know why you're being so prickly towards Jess.
Yeah, what? Why such a grump, hun?
I just am. I just don't get why we're doing this. It feels pointless and awkward and invasive, and I don't like it.
Ed, we've been through this. It's so people can have a visual of what it's like to live with this disorder, Like, for the first time ever, people can really hear us and experience what goes on. They can see us interact.
I think my point was more about why you're projecting your frustrations onto Jess.
Okay. Cool. Let's do this. Jess, how do you feel about me?
What?
How do you feel about me? We're all connected, right?
So then it really doesn't need to be spelled out. You know that I think
Are you frightened of me?
I don't see why that matters.
It matters a lot. It matters a lot because I know you're frightened of me. I can hear our heart beat faster and harder every time we're near each other. So I don't get how you can stand there and preach about persecutors not being good alters when you still view me as one.
There's a lot of water under the bridge, darling.
Yeah, or I just want Jess to answer for herself. How can you stand there and label me as trustworthy when you still don't trust me not to fuck up?
She does trust you, Ed. There's just been a lot of good...
Yeah, can the protectors stand down for a minute? I'm not holding her bloody hostage. I just want her to answer for herself.
I'm sorry, Ed. I don't know what to say. Look, you've grown so much, and you've become such an amazing part of the system, and I know that you've done a lot in the past, and some of that was misdirected, and it hurt the body, but that doesn't actually mean that I believe you're going to do it again. I'm really sorry, Ed. You're not a bad alter. You never were a bad alter, and that's something that I need to get across in my head. And I'm sorry I still get these feelings about you. I really do respect you. I really do. And you're a very important part of this overall puzzle that is us.
No, I think it's a good idea to use this chance to just listen to this stuff and kind of get on with it and move on.
I think Ollie's right. Is there anything else anyone wants to hash out?
I mean, you're such a know-it-all, Jamie, and, like, you're super confident, too. And I guess sometimes I get a little jealous of all that. Like, I kind of aspire to be a little more, like, you know, full of knowledge and self-love, just like you.
Oh, cheers, mate. That's very kind of you to say. It's the gentlest hashing out I think I've ever experienced. But I wish I could return a compliment to you, or any compliment at all.
Oh,
Way too salty.
poor Jakey.
What? Jamie, apologise.
It's okay, Ed. Like, if anybody's used to this, it's me, you know.
I know, Jamie. Apologise or find a compliment. Be serious.
Okay. I'm sorry for taking the mick. He knows I'm joking. And
Yes.
I don't know how you're always so kind. It's a very admirable trait.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Brutal. Okay, has everyone finished? Anyone want another go?
No. I don't think I can take another grilling after all that.
What about you, Ed? I think we should address these tensions between you and Jess.
Yeah. I dislike the girl. And I know that's instinct. I don't know that's what I'm made for. I get that.
But we've talked about this. That's just the mammalian part of the gland, but those are the natural reactions. What we need to do is use our complex frontal lobes to rationalise those reactions and overcome them.
Yeah, if it were that simple, James, then we wouldn't be having these problems, would we? I do my best, and that is all I can do.
I don't think you have to like somebody to get on with them.
Yeah, we need to be respectful of one another, you know, and work together. You know, we can't let our feelings get the best of us if we need to work as a team in order to function.
I mean, thinking about it, I kind of feel like Ed's getting the bad end of the stick here when I'm having the same feelings about being frightened of him as he is about disliking me.
Thank you. So, if you're going to lecture me, you've got to lecture her too. That's all I'm saying.
Shouldn't we get back to the original point?
Yes. I believe the question was, what would it be like if we would want to be a singular person instead of a multiple?
Well, I don't think it matters. We're not. We're here. We exist. So we may as well just get on with stuff.
Well, I happen to agree. There's no point trying to change the past. But it might be interesting and worthwhile to explore whether or not we would ever want to be one whole person.
I feel like we should just focus on the here and now, you know? Like, looking at the past just causes sadness, and looking towards the future just generates anxiety.
Yeah, I think Jake's right. I think we should just focus on the here and now, and we're not anywhere near that stage yet, so we shouldn't have to worry about it.
One day at a time.
But to get to that last point, we'd have to go through years of therapy to look at a past that we barely even remember. And we were created to stop remembering. It doesn't make sense to go against the mechanism that made us, right?
I mean, you and Jamie would feel that way because that's kind of your role, to keep us as far away from that trauma as possible.
No, but the way I see stuff, it's society that has an expectation on us to become fixed so that we are whole. So why do we make people feel like more comfortable that we're not broken, essentially? But it's all we've ever known, and it works for us. So why change it? So we we don't need to give in to that destabilizing of ourselves and reliving that trauma. It just doesn't make sense.
Right, fine, darling, but we have to take care of the PTSD side of stuff, yeah? Me, Jake and Jess.
You know, you and Jamie wouldn't understand because you don't have to suffer with all the flashbacks and the panic attacks and the triggers like we do.
But we work well together, so why not get on with it and just carry on as we are?
That's fine, but like, up until the point where you're in those moments of torment and you do anything to get the hell out of here.
But once you've had the flashbacks, don't you forget them straight away?
Lollipop, I get that you can't empathise with this, and that's a good thing, yeah? Because the last thing I'd ever want to imagine is you going through something traumatic.
But if we went through those therapy sessions and we relived the past, surely I'm going to experience it anyway.
Like your dad said, it's about taking it one day at a time. For the first time in our lives, we're in good, stable therapy. And if we feel like we need to stop, we will stop. But we're all together taking these steps into the deep water, step by step. And if we check in with each other, then if it gets too much, we can step back out again. And then go back in later on if we feel up to it. How does that sound?
I thought you'd agree with me.
Like your dad said, it's about not wanting you to ever experience what he experiences. And the only reason I'm even willing to risk this is because I don't want him to have to experience that, nor Jess or Jake for that matter. And if there's anything that we can try to mean they don't have to, then I think it's worth the risk.
But it's not worth harming you for it. I could never forgive myself if we ever crossed that line.
Oh, try not to worry about that, Ed. I mean, I guess we're a long way off that stage yet. We don't really have to worry about it. And I know that you guys would do everything you could to protect Ollie and put his life first. Which I guess kind of makes me think about exactly that. I mean, why me? Why my life when we could be living Ollie's life, for example?
I don't want it. I have an amazing inner world. I have amazing parents. And I couldn't find anything like that out here.
Yeah, and we were living your life long before we even knew what all this was about. Like, people would just expect us to be this way and respond to your name with your body, so it just kind of made sense to continue that way.
But I guess that I know that you kind of wanted that life more than anyone, Jake.
I guess, but I feel like it's just too late for that wish to be granted now.
What do you mean?
Like, you guys, you have a family, these guys are a family, like, where does that leave me?
You're a family too, Jake.
Yeah, it's not in the same way, you know, like parents and kids. Like, I wanted that freedom, you know? Like, I wanted to travel the world and see the most beautiful places. Like, maybe meet a girl, but, like, nothing serious. Just something nice.
I'm sorry, Jake.
But
Yeah.
we do have to be realistic. We've chosen one life and one path, so what can we do to make you feel better?
No.
Time. That's what you need. You need more time to go out and be yourself. Do what you want to do. Within reason, obviously. No gallivanting around with girls on a night out or something.
Nah, I wouldn't. I just want some time to, like, release some energy, you know? Like, maybe exercise or, like, hang out with friends.
Well, you can. Now the baby's a little older, we all have a little more freedom, and we all have a right to that freedom.
I guess I just worry that, like, that time could be used somewhere else, you know? Like, I know that Ed needs to recharge a lot, and I don't want to take any of that up.
Okay, what if we don't give you a choice?
What do you mean?
So, if we feel you, like, sneaking around or whatever, like you can't come out, you're trapped, we push you out, so you have to have more time for yourself.
We encourage you.
Yeah.
Really? Like, that would be totally awesome. And then I wouldn't feel so guilty about taking some time out for myself, as long as you guys are okay with that.
But will you be okay with that? I'd be a bit worried you'd feel a bit down and you didn't have the life that you could.
You know what? I would live this life 10 lifetimes over, and I would give every single one of them to Jess, because her happiness means more to me than anything in the entire world.
Oh, thank you, Jake. Oh, thank you so much. It's so kind of you.
It's okay, princess.
So sweet.
That just means that you're doing a fabulous job as the protector that you were made to be. So you should feel proud.
Ah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
It's so kind.
Jake, were you about to see the film
You
last
okay,
night?
Oh,
still feel
yeah,
a bit
man.
on
What did you
edge.
think?
I am on
Oh
edge.
mate, it was
I don't
immense.
like when you put
I
all the
thought
shit on the
that
internet.
Jasmine was
I feel
really
it's intrusive
pretty.
and I
though.
can't
Oh my
speak
god,
right
you mean
now.
Naomi Scott?
Well,
Yeah,
what's the
she's
worst you can say?
beautiful, right?
don't know.
Like, I saw the
What I do
trailer
know
and
is
I
that
was
every
like,
man and
oh
his dog
my
out
god,
there
this
is on the
girl
internet watching us, like
gorgeous.
with some sort of
She's a great actress, too.
Oh, of course, but
Like at a
you know
circus or something
who
like
I
that,
did
do you know what I
think
mean?
made the film? It was Will Smith.
Educational,
Amazing.
Eddie Bear,
You know what?
okay?
He totally
We're trying to
nailed
make a
it. But
difference.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
there'll
totally
always
sure
be
about the
knowledge
direction
on
of
the
film. Like,
internet,
it
but
seemed a little
it's
too
worth
different
it for
to
the
be
positive
Disney.
changes
Yeah,
that
of
we're
course.
helping to make.
Like,
Yeah, but why us?
I didn't
Why
like
this? Pick
the
another system. I'm
car.
just sick of people sticking their noses
Like,
in.
he totally sank into
For
the
what it's
background for
worth,
me.
the
You
audience
know
seems
who
to
I
love
thought
you.
would have made an amazing genie,
Fuck
though?
knows
Oh,
why.
who?
Jack
Who couldn't
Black,
love you?
man. Like,
Don't
he
list the
is
reasons.
Yeah,
so
well, I'm going
eccentric.
to,
He's
and I'll list them for as
funny.
long as it takes
Like,
for you to realise how
like,
amazing you
he
are.
would have been awesome, but I know they
Thank
kind of
you.
cast it perfectly as it is.
Yeah, mate, that would be
Always make me feel better about
amazing.
myself.
Well, you should
But
do more of
I
it.
think that
Yeah,
he
well,
would have,
okay.
like,
Yeah.
taken
I
it.
will.
Guys!
Oh,
And now we have a headache. Fantastic.
I haven't felt one of these in a while. I did not miss that.
Oh, that's what we're gonna get if we decide to talk over one another. Whichever one of us is fronting right now is gonna be a complete dissociated mess.
wait, who is fronting?
Well, we're all here. So by deduction, that either means it's a giant mess of all of us, or
A massive void of none of us.
precisely.
Wait, what if it's a new altar?
What?
I mean, if we're all here, and then we've got to ask, well, who's out there? Because we're all here right now, and we could be a really dissociated mess, or there could be somebody else that's taking my body right now, and I could be doing anything. I could be having a blackout,
Whoa,
or
Jess, we're okay.
Relax,
Okay.
hun.
I guess I can't get it out of my head that somebody could be driving my body right now, and I could be in the boot, and we won't know what we're doing or where we're going.
If that was the case, I'd know about it. Don't you think I'd let you know if someone new had cropped up?
But what about one of the fragments? Like, what about little me? Is he still around?
Very likely, but he hasn't fronted in almost 2 years. And the chances of him doing it so in the daytime is it's unheard of.
Wait, have we been like really badly triggered? That could be it, right?
I suppose so, but not as far as I'm aware. But listen, I think we all need to take some deep breaths, calm down. Otherwise our amygdala's going to go into overdrive and we're going to have a panic attack, and that's the last thing we want.
Jess, shallow breaths, nice and slow.
You okay?
I think so. I'm just feeling really lightheaded and panicky, and
It's okay,
I just don't want to be here right now.
belly breaths. It's okay, nice and slow, in and out. We're okay.
I agree. Let's recap and bring this to a close. So, we've addressed the concerns between Jess and Ed. We've encouraged Jake to take some more time for himself. We've ensured that we're all happy to continue our progress through therapy. And we've checked in to see if there's any new pieces coming up. Is everyone happy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's check back in with the body, ground ourselves, unless there's anything else that anyone would like to share with an audience.
Yeah. That, people shouldn't judge alters or people with DID because each different case has its different representation.
Yeah, but that goes without saying. Maybe we should say something about the basics, something that we might have not made obvious.
Like what?
Like, sometimes we talk like this for days, and maybe there's one co-conscious, or even maybe several, and sometimes we don't hear a peep from any of us, from days on end, and that's normal too.
I guess adding to it. These kind of inner monologues aren't inner monologues, and they're actual parts of different people that kind of speak to you, and it's nothing like, I don't know, I just don't think that maybe someone without DID could necessarily understand, but at least something like this might be a start.
Anyone else? Okay. Gold star for everyone. Okay, I think we should draw this to a close.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Jess, you know what to do.
Do I? I can't think right now.
5 things that we can see.
4 things that we can feel.
3 things we can hear.
2 things we can smell.
1 thing that we can taste.
10, 9,
8, 7,
6,
5,
4,
3, 2, 1.
We hope that you enjoyed taking a step into our headspace and having that opportunity to hear what we hear day in and day out. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and tell your friends that we are nothing like the Hollywood stereotype. Thank you.
We hope you enjoy taking a step into our headspace and seeing what we do day in and day out.
By giving you this insight, we hope we've achieved what we set out to achieve.
Which was to remind everyone that by stereotyping mental health disorders, we are putting our stigmatizing beliefs above the actuality of what that person experiences.
And of course we wanted to ensure that someone without DID could feel fully immersed in our headspace and experience and understand how a system like us works and operates.
We would love to do nothing more than to do even bigger projects in the future, so a big thank you to all of our amazing patrons, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this.
In particular, we need to thank Karen and Denise.
Oh, and the Songbird system.
Encrypted Angels.
And Odessa for supporting us in the way that you have.
To sign up to support us to help end the stigma of DID, please check out our links in the description box and help us buy a Ko-Fi or become a patron.
Thank you for
giving us a voice.
Woo!